again, like I think the general directive of our leadership here is that we let the Senate take the lead. And if that's how the Senate feels, then there's really nothing but we can do but respect their priorities as a independent institution when it comes to legislation here in the Philippines. But I would say also, as a registered voter who has voted for 12 senators, before the end of the year or before the end of this term, I would hope to see that there will be votation on this, because we deserve as voters of the senators to hear on how they really stand by virtue of their vote. That's actually the work done of the legislator. When it gets out of the committee down to the plenary and we vote yes or no. I hope if it will not be before Cindy adjourning, I hope it will be before the next election, that the senators will come out on what their vote is for the benefit of the Filipino people when it comes to the issue of charter change or RBH 6 or 7.
The process naman talaga to creating a law really is after Congress, it will go to the Senate. Tapos na po kami dito sa Kongreso and it's up to Senate. If you would say kung patay na, it's up to them. Wala kaming magagawa dito kung yun yung magiging decision nila. But we go back to ano ba talaga ang intention nito. Clear naman po yung intention ng House is for the people. Yung mga economic provisions na nito, na tinignan po, na pinag-aralan, narinig nyo po kung sinubaybayan nyo yung mga discussions during the debates, ay para sa taong bayan. So ngayon nandun sa Senado to, at kung malalaman natin, kung panuorin natin, malalaman natin kung anong intention nila. Bakit gusto nila akong patayin, ayaw nila pag-usapan, or will they really look into ano nga po ba ang naisip nila as elected officials na makakabuti sa taong bayan. This should not be political. This should not even be a fight between the House and the Senate. This should be for the people. So sana, tingnan po ng Senado ng maigi. Ito na ano bang kabubuti ng taong bayan, ng buong Pilipinas. Dahil sa lahat ng titingnan natin ngayon na parami yung mga issues na sinabi nga po ni Kong Zia earlier na the House right now under the leadership of Speaker Martin Romualdez is exercising now our oversight functions to look into the effectivities of the laws, the gaps, and the ongoing problems ng mga taong bayan. Kasi naghihirap ang mga Pilipino. Kailangan natin tingnan ito. So sana tingnan ng Senado, ano pwede nilang gawin ngayon na nandun na sa kanila, pending po sa kanila, na ikabubuti po ng Pilipinas, ng bawat Pilipino.
Yung issue po ng Chacha, tama nga yung sinabi ni Kong Mix kanina, it is beyond politics and personalities. Ang priority po dito, job creation. Kung hindi ho natin ito ipaprioritize, parang hindi ho natin pinapriority yung job creation. Number two, ang importante po dito is for our state university to be at par with the rest of countries in the ASEAN. Yung po yung issue dito. Kung hindi natin pinapriority dito, hindi natin pinapriority yung upgrading and the system and to be at par, our university to be at par with the rest of the ASEAN nations. Number three, yung exchange of skills and expertise, which I guess Indonesia has been benefiting from. Vietnam has benefited from because of their economic provisions ay medyo they more liberal. So, pag ayaw natin yon, hindi sa Chacha, hindi sa ano, kung ano talaga yung tumbok, hindi natin pina-priority yung ganong klaseng mga avenues na po pwede nating makunan ng number one, it's income generating for the country, additional jobs, and leveling up the standard of our education in the country. Yun ang priority ng House of Representatives under the current leadership ni Speaker Martin Romualdez, ang Pangulo po ng Kongreso. Now, I'd like to now ask ang ating taong bayan, because they will be the judge. And it's so, ito yung perfect time for us to revisit the Constitution. And we are trying to lose that opportunity just because of mere, sabi nga ni Kong Migs, yung fears natin, in apprehensions natin. The House of Representatives is being led by hope and optimism. We should not be led by fear and apprehension. Let our countrymen be the judge of it.
The sentiments of the Senate President, hindi po priority yung constitutional change or before sinidi adjournment. I would say technically hindi po yan, that wouldn't mean na patay na po yung economic revisions because I think the question here is only yung timing. If I understand correctly, the reason po sana that we were seeking to go through this constitutional amendment as early as possible is to avoid po na madamay po ito ng politika come voting. Because if we recall, dun po sa CONAS, which is the current version that we're going for, after passing this dito sa Congress, which is both House and Senate, magkakaroon po ng plebiscite within not earlier than 60 days but not later than 90 days. So it's still possible naman po, let's say, hindi po may pasa ito before sinidi adjournment. It's still possible, like Khalid was saying, like before the end of the election, pwede pa rin pagpuputuan. But unfortunately, this would mean that this could be a political issue already for the next elections kapag pinagsama na po ito. But with that said, the House has been consistent, the leadership has been consistent. We will follow the lead of the Senate. Kung ano man ang mode of economic revision that they would prefer, nandito po ready if they want to follow their own schedule. They don't want to be limited by sinidi adjournment if they're going to pass it later on in the year. As long as feasible, nandito pa rin po yung House to support. Pero importante lang po talaga sa atin is that these economic revisions ideally would be pursued para sa bayan naman po ito, para sa tao.
Again, I'd like to reiterate that the priority of our government is the Filipino people. And anything that we do, no matter how different it may seem, would always have the intent na it is for the betterment, it is for the improvement, it is for the benefit of the Filipino people. So, this is something that we are really willing to look into. This is something that we're trying to coordinate with, and all the parties involved are really hands-on on this.